All right, guys, welcome back to Between Rounds. We've got a special guest today, Suga Sean O'Malley.
Good to be here.
My dude. The Sugar Show's in the house.
Yep.
Yeah, man. How's things?
Things are good. Life is good. Got a 8-week-old now. Can't complain.
Sleeping at all?
Yeah, so I've been sleeping upstairs. I have a 4-year-old too. So me and Elena have been sleeping upstairs. Danny's been sleeping with the baby because she's like, I can't sleep good if we're all in the same bed. She doesn't want anyone to roll over the baby. So right now I've been sleeping upstairs with Elena, and she's been sleeping downstairs with the little dude.
We did that with my babies too, because the kids, they need you.
Yeah.
And I'm not against a family bed, you know.
No, me neither.
Like we always did pretty good. I never smushed them. I thought I was gonna.
Yeah, no, I'm taking advantage of this opportunity I have to sleep with Elena and cuddle her. Because if we're all in the same bed, she wants to cuddle mommy, but we've been sleeping upstairs, so I've been just getting the best cuddles.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter, you know, Kira,
Oh, yeah.
when she was little, I was her pal. So I was always the one, you know,
Yep.
being there. And then my wife was in there with Isaiah too. So, well, I want to start where everybody starts. Back to the beginning.
Okay.
So your family, you're a middle of 3 brothers.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I heard that they're 4 years older, 4 years younger.
That is everyone. Sister, brother, me, brother, all 4 years apart.
How did that go? Did that lead to good relationships, or are they too far apart to have shared and that stuff?
I kind of feel like Michael and Daniel, my oldest and the younger brother, kind of ganged up on me a little bit. So I was always like the one getting picked on by them too. Like if we went outside and played football, it was like those two ganging up on me. We played any kind of games, it was those two kind of versus me. So I think I was a huge pussy, to be honest. Like I think I was like, Mom! Like, I was a tattletale. I was a baby. But yeah, so we got, along. So we definitely all have a way better relationship now than we did growing up. Growing up, we played together, but we had our own friend group. So it was good. We had a lot of good memories, but for the most part, I think I was just a pussy.
Maybe that's what led you into being a fighter.
It very well could have
right?
been.
But I think 4 years is far, kind of.
Yeah.
As a kid, once you get to be 18, it doesn't really matter anymore. But as a kid, like you're 8 and he's 12, you're in a different spot.
100%. Yeah.
Your little brother's 4.
Yeah.
And then Michaela was 4 years under Daniel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they did that on purpose, but I don't know. It worked out pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you feel, but getting through, some people like to have them close together to get through that diaper stage quick.
Yeah. The diaper stage, I feel like with the first one, I was like, oh my God, I'm ready for the diaper stage to be done. But with Mateo, it's like, all right, every time I feel like I'm like, don't want to change a diaper, I feel like I can kind of switch it in my head. Like I get to, there's people that are suffering and that, lose a baby or, their baby's really sick or something. So I always feel like I can put it into perspective. Like, well, this is something I get to do. Yeah. So I feel like I've been able to do that, and that helps a lot.
I don't know if you feel like this, but whenever I change them, obviously you don't enjoy the stuff.
Yeah.
But being able to be face to face, and they are with you 100% in that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I actually really liked it. Yeah. Obviously, the smell could be different, but the FaceTime you spent with your babies, I think, is priceless.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Now, your brother's in Texas, you were saying before?
Yep. Little brother's in Texas. He's going to chiropractic school, so he's kind of learning. He enjoys the chiropractic aspect of it, but he's kind of learning that on top of, he went to physical therapy school, so he's kind of just learning about the human body, and he's pretty passionate about it. I think you got to be to go to school.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. How's he doing down there? Like, it's been a little while.
Yeah. I think he's going on year 2 or something right now. He's getting married actually at the end of August.
What?
Yeah. He's got a wedding out there in North Dakota where his girlfriend's from. So that should be fun. He's doing really well. I think the plan is for them to he finishes school and then move back here, which would be cool.
Yeah.
My little sister's in Kansas right now with her boyfriend. She's going to veterinarian school, which is another, I don't know how long. So she's eventually going to want to come out here and get the family back, because everyone was in Arizona at one point except for my dad, and then Daniel and Michaela left. And so I think the goal is to get everyone back here. That's
pretty cool that they went out to chase their thing, though.
Yeah, really cool.
Michaela's a realtor.
While she was here, she was doing some realty stuff, and I was her number 1 customer.
That's awesome.
It was funny because she sold 3 or 4 houses, and they were all to me. And then, so she was
Business
like, "Oh, this
good.
is great." And then I think she might have sold one to someone else too. But then she's like, "Okay, I'm not super passionate about that." But animals, she's obsessed with animals and helping. So she found her boyfriend's family lives in Kansas, so they're out there, and she's going to school out there.
What school is she going to?
Ooh,
is it just a vet school?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. My niece was a vet. She actually went to school on an island in the Caribbean.
See, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But she loves it. She's a large animal vet. She digs it.
Some people are just born for that stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you can find that's where I feel like I was so lucky to find a passion with such a young age. Like, and Daniel's passionate about that, what he's doing. Michele's passionate about, but my older brother doesn't really have like a passion, and it's just like, I don't know. It's
just
sad.
Work with no passion is weird.
It's hard.
I mean, it is for us anyway.
Yeah.
Like gym business isn't easy, but no business is easy.
Right.
But I love being here. I love being with the boys, doing our thing. You know. Dad was a cop.
Dad was a cop for 20 years. Cop, detective, narcotics narcotics cop. He's done a lot in that space. Definitely has some PTSD. Like some of the stories he would tell. Some of the people he would have to interview, child, pedophiles, stuff like that. And he had to sit down and interview them, and he definitely has a lot of PTSD stuff from that, seeing dead bodies and stuff. But that's a job that I do not.
No,
I wouldn't want to get.
When people, my students, my family, they're like, I'll be a cop. I'm like, please don't be. Like you want good people, but I don't think it's hard to stay a good person in that job.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's saved a lot of people's lives, and he helps so many people.
Yeah.
Like there's special. I don't think I could do that. I couldn't do that. But there's people that can do that. They're like nurses. They're special kinds of people that we need. That I'm not capable of doing that.
Yeah, I don't think I would be either. And just the social pressure that's on cops now, and the way people treat police. Yeah. God,
it's crazy.
Dang, I want to go out there and just start slinging them.
I know. He's retired now. He's done. He's still living in Montana. We're working on getting him down here, but he's done with that side of things.
How was it growing up with a cop as a dad? Was it cool? Did you feel not weird? Did you feel any pressure as far as?
Yeah, I didn't drink or smoke, so I didn't really. I think I didn't do that stuff. I don't know if I would have anyway, but. Part of because my dad was a cop, I remember them just hammering how horrible that stuff is for you, which at that age it is. I mean, alcohol is bad for you no matter how old you are. So I didn't drink or smoke till Tim made me, but he didn't make me.
It's his fault. Yeah,
he got me to smoke weed for the first time when I was in Arizona, because it'd be 9 p.m. I'd train twice, and I'd be like, let's go do something. He's like, dude, settle the fuck down. Take a puff. And I'd take a puff and be like,
let's go to bed.
I'm down to just chill. You got any snacks? Like it completely changed my personality. Like I was just like so at it all the time. Then I'd take a puff, but whoa, I can chill for a little bit. But alcohol, I didn't drink till I was 21. Again, Tim forced it down my throat.
God dang, redheads are bad for you, aren't they?
But I never got hooked on that, which was great. My older brother was an alcoholic, pretty bad. Got into some bad drugs, and that always scared me. It was terrifying. I was like, I do not want to go down that path. But alcohol is just so much fun. It's so dangerous. But I haven't even had a sip this year. I'm like, I never got into it bad, but it is not good for you.
No, I mean it's basically poison.
It's literally poison.
You're throwing in your body.
Yeah.
But so you grew up in Montana and Helena the whole time?
Yep, Helena the whole time.
Capital High School.
Yep, Capital High.
What's the mascot for Capital?
The Capital High Bruins.
The Bruins.
Yeah, so I think it was like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to Capital from like freshman year to halfway through sophomore year. And then I went to this Montana Youth Challenge. It's like boot camp thing.
Yeah.
Because I hated school. And to go to this youth camp, you had to drop out of school, but you could get your GED there. And I was like, this is my way to drop out. So then I hated school. I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to go to kickboxing practice because I started getting into kickboxing. And I was like, that's all I wanted to do was just box, kickbox, and fight. And school, I felt like pointless. I'm like, I don't give I really didn't care what we were learning in school. But so I went to Youth Challenge. Was supposed to be there for 6 months. Went for like a month and a half. Ended up getting kicked out of there because I kept running away. Like you only were allowed in certain areas, and me and a couple of the other kids would like go to Subway and beg for money, get $5, get a Subway, stuff like that. So I ended up getting kicked out of that.
You got kicked out for a Subway footlong?
For a footlong, yep, pretty much. But so they were sick of me there. I got kicked out of that. Came back and went to Hamilton High, which my uncle was the principal, and my aunt was my dad's sister. So I went there for a little bit, and I was kept sneaking out, hanging out with chicks, and like my aunt called my dad. She's like, you gotta, like, he can't be here. Like, he's just a pain in the ass. So my dad can't pick me up, and I went to this alternative school in Helena. It's called PAL. And it was just basically just to help people that, in my position, just to get through school.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting through that, and I was 18.
Well, that doesn't sound like too much fun.
No, I hated school.
Pretty tumultuous time for you.
I was never like a bad kid, but I just wasn't interested in anything other than girls and fighting.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that was on my mind, and that's.
Did wrestling ever cross your mind?
I thought I'm like, look at those losers. Because I played basketball in high school, and it was the same season. Basketball and wrestling were the same season. So you either did one or the other. And I remember we'd be playing basketball, and you'd see the wrestlers running up and down the stairs, like doing hard workouts. I was like, God, thank God I'm not them.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't really think about hard work. I didn't have like a great mindset for going into practices or competing at my highest level. So I looking back, I'm like, if I could have wrestled in high school, would have been so beneficial. But yeah,
but look at the path it's taken you on. It's turned out all right.
It's turned out all right. Yeah.
But you like team sports. For me, when I was in high school, I didn't get good grades. Mm-hmm. I mean, I made it through, but barely.
Same.
My stepmom, I lived in a couple different houses. My stepmom bribed me with a dog. If I graduated, I got a puppy. So I made it to graduation, but barely. But, the kind of music held me in there. The band held me in there. Do you feel like kickboxing helped you through all that?
Yeah, because it gave me like that passion. It gave me something I looked forward to.
Aim for.
I remember like learning how to wrap my hands. I remember what's crazy is I was 16 years old when I had my first fight ever. It was a kickboxing fight in Missoula, Montana. And I remember the guy asked me, what do you want your walkout song to be? His name was Bruce Gray. He was like my coach at the time, but he was more of like a fighter too. Wasn't necessarily a coach. He drove me up there, and I'm like, I don't know what walkout song. I never thought about that. He's like, I'll pick you one. He ended up picking Forever by Lil Wayne and Eminem, which is crazy because Lil Wayne fight week when I fought Marab dropped a song name dropping me. And recently, just a couple weeks ago, Eminem did a name drop me. And it's crazy. It's like full circle. My first walkout song was Lil Wayne and Eminem. They both randomly, out of nowhere, name dropped me. And I was like, that was cool. What
is that like to hear you? Like, I know you're used to it now, the attention and stuff, but what's that like to hear that? That's got to be crazy.
It is. I don't know. It just seemed it was cool. It was really cool. I mean, both of them, was cool. I remember listening to Eminem forever, playing Call of Duty, having Eminem on the CD player, and just like, it doesn't almost seem real though. In a way, it's like that means they were thinking about Sean O'Malley when they were writing their lyrics or however their thought process is for music. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy that they even know who I am.
Well, to have that being their little reservoir of hey, I'm going to use this.
It's crazy.
At some point in time.
It doesn't feel real.
I heard it. I was like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. It was super cool.
It would have been way cooler because Lil Wayne dropped it fight week. I'm like, it would have been way cooler if I would have won. But I'm like, all right, it's still cool. But Eminem's lyric it was like referring to like get bouncing back and and I was like, he actually put some thought into, like, obviously he fucking puts thoughts into his lyrics. He's one of the lyrical goats. But like in my career where I'm at right now, like bounce back, like. That was cool.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's your first walkout song. So you started kickboxing at 16, and what was the guy's name? Your coach?
So it was like a fighter / coach. His name was Bruce Gray. We didn't really have a lot of at that time. I had a coach named Mike who would hold mitts for me a little bit, but it wasn't like a kickboxing class. It was more of like you showed up, kind of sparred, and like
fought against each other.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It wasn't like a real structured class.
So you started, but you went to MMA at 18. How did you get there? Like, is it the same gym? And they're just like, hey, you want to fight MMA instead?
So I guess, the first practice I ever had actually was a jiu-jitsu practice. And I learned an arm bar off my back. So I was obsessed with it just for a little bit. But then I was like, God, I just really like kickboxing more. Yeah. So like I went to like a couple jiu-jitsu classes at this MMA gym. It was the same. So there was one gym, but there was two. It was Team Proving Grounds, and then there was I don't even remember the other one. But it was two different gyms in one gym. They kind of shared the space. And I went to the MMA practice, and I was like, it was cool. I learned an arm bar off my back, and it was whatever. But then I went to a kickboxing, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I wanted to kickbox. So from 16 to 18 years old, for 2 years, all I did was box and kickbox. Didn't do any wrestling, any jiu-jitsu. Basically threw on gloves and sparred for 2 years, and got I think 4 boxing fights, 4 kickboxing fights. So I was pretty, fought a good amount of times. And then right when I turned 18, I was like, well, I might as well try MMA. And I just, even at that point, I like still didn't really like doing jiu-jitsu or wrestling. I just was like, basically thought of it as kickboxing with little gloves. So I didn't know any wrestling, but the guys I was fighting in Montana were so bad. Like, I didn't really need wrestling or jiu-jitsu because we were all just kind of scrapping. Yeah.
Yeah. You've always had such a great sense of timing.
Yeah.
Distance and timing, which I think is so hard to teach anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's one of those natural gifts. Do you feel like that too?
I do. I feel like that's for sure a natural gift, but I think like fighting is just like, some people just can scrap and fight. I felt like I had that early, just from my first couple sparring sessions. Like I threw gloves on, I was just like, hands were just kind of, I'd punch someone, they'd punch me. I'd be able to counter without even knowing what countering was.
Yeah.
I'd be able to trick people, like have them punch at me just so I can punch back before I even knew what like setting stuff up was and stuff like that. So I do think it was naturally gifted.
Yeah, I felt like it's been a natural thing for you since the very beginning. Yeah. So MMA, who did you start with that?
So Johnny Aho was like my first coach. I don't know if you ever met Johnny at one of these Great Falls. You did, okay.
A bunch of times.
That's right. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Johnny, he's a character. He is an absolute character, and I think I got a lot of, not so much, I got some skill from him, but I got a lot of confidence from him. He's like, I don't care if you're fighting GSP. At the time, I didn't know who GSP was. Like I knew a little bit of him, but he's like, you'd beat GSP. And in my head,
hell yeah, I would.
I'd knock him out. But he just gave me so much confidence going into fights, like just talking me up, like, you're the greatest, you're the best, you could beat anybody. And like, that's important in a sense. Like there's a part of like I had a lot of delusion in my mindset, and a lot of it I got lost when I came down here for the first time. But I think that was important in building my confidence, because I'd go out there and I'd knock these guys out, and I was just like, man, I can just hit people and they fall, and just get this self-confidence that it's like super important in fighting. You see someone who's confident versus someone who's not, it's like that can change someone's career.
I think so too. That's a skill. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you measure it, but you can see a guy walk in the ring and he thinks he's going to win.
Yeah.
And he's losing, but he still knows.
Yeah.
I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And that's hard to put that guy away. And so
absolutely
can't put him away. He's always got a chance.
Yeah.
So you moved to Arizona. Wait, but who gave you sugar?
Sugar, Johnny. Johnny gave me sugar. He said, because I was so sweet to watch, and it kind of stuck. Just like, it
he wasn't lying though.
It was, I'm like, all right, I like it, sugar. And there was a lot of sugars at the time, but I didn't really realize that because I didn't watch boxing. Mm-hmm. I barely watched UFC. Like Tim would always make fun of me because when I first actually moved down, he's like, name 3 champions in the UFC. And I was like, John Jones. I pretty much I didn't watch fighting, which is always kind of weird. I didn't watch boxing. I didn't watch UFC. And I liked the sport, but I didn't ever watch it. Yeah.
So when you came down here, how was that? Like, what was that like coming to Arizona?
So the first time I came down here for like, I think it was 7 days. And first time getting on a plane, flew down. Tim picked me up. And, I had no idea what to expect because I never trained with anybody other than the people in Montana. And so I came to the gym at the old lab over there on the Bell and 75th, and I think, it was rough. It was an eye-opening experience. Like it was not easy. I'm pretty sure I cried every single practice, like at home. Like we got back to, and I just like, damn, this is where I need to be, but this is not like I need to. And I was able to switch the perspective in my head. Like, okay, these guys are way better than me, partially because I was 18. I was like, these guys are, so Yachty was 28, 30, whatever Yachty was. Like, Yachty was the guy that beat on me. And And I was like, okay, these guys are a lot older than me. They have a lot more experience than me. And, you know, I knew, I was like, okay, I just need to be in the gym. I just need to get better. But it was still like hard pill to swallow. Like, damn, I'm not as good as I thought I was. But yeah, that was an eye-opening experience because I just came for like 7 to 10 days. And I remember flying back being like, I'm going to go home, save up $2,000, pay off my car, and drive down and move down. And that's what I did.
That's pretty, a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
They go somewhere and it doesn't go like they want. And they're like, those people suck.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was in me. I don't know if it was because I didn't have a plan B. I was like, in my mind, I wanted to be rich and famous. Like that was like what drove me as a young kid. Like I think looking back, I'm like, I guess whatever motivates you and gets you to where you're going is, you know, use that as fuel. But that's what drove me. Is like, okay, I can't rap. I can't dance. I'm not going to be in the NFL. I'm not going to be in the NBA. There's weight classes and fighting. I can make this happen. And I think that's what kind of drove me was I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to perform. And that was the only path for me.
You felt like you wanted to entertain people from the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd never heard you say that before.
Yeah, I was addicted to being 16 years old and being in the middle of center of attention, being in a fight and winning and just like the crowd going, like I was addicted to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's been a good engine to get you where you've gone.
It has been.
So you come to Arizona. I love the stories. Like I saw the picture of you with your shaved eyebrows.
Oh.
How much did you make for the shaved eyebrows?
Tim, we were talking about this the other day because Tim has some funny pictures of me. He's like, I wish more than anything that I could, because for whatever reason, he lost that picture on his old phone. And it was a picture of because I was playing Xbox with my buddies. Headset on. Tim's like, hey, I'll give you $50, shave your eyebrows. And I was talking to my buddies on the headset. It's weird. I can remember it like it was like yesterday. I was like, should I do it? And they're like, no, you fucking idiot. What are you talking about? And I was like, I'm doing it. And I did it. And then I was sitting there playing Xbox and Tim's like, Sean. And I look over and he takes a picture. So I just have no eyebrows, huge headset on. And like he lost that picture, thank God. But yeah, I made $50. In my mind, I was
50.
like, I could pay, because Tim and I split everything. I'm like, I can get like 2 Chipotle burritos and pay half the internet bill. And I didn't have a job when I moved down. I was able to get some local sponsors to help me get by, and which was I was very grateful for. And so I didn't have to have a job, but I was like, $50, that shit. I mean, that helps. That's a couple dinners and a half a Wi-Fi bill. So I did that, and I still came into jiu-jitsu.
You seen those shirts that say, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20?
That was me.
Eyebrows are important, but $50 is $50.
And I still would come into jiu-jitsu, and I remember you being like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's my eyebrows. And he's like, oh. And everyone asked me, like, what's wrong? Like, why do you look so weird? I'm like, it's my eyebrows.
Have you seen people, though, when you see that, and you see it, and you're like, something's different about you?
Yeah. I regret that. I regret that one.
Oh, those pictures are awesome. And that's such a funny memory compared to where you're at now.
Yeah, it is actually hilarious because there's that picture of me holding $50 up in the mirror. And I would still come into jiu-jitsu. I never missed practice. I would still come in and train, and people would be like, what the fuck? And I can't believe I still would come in. Like I guess like what else am I going to do, sit at home? But I still came in, and I went to Walmart one time, me and Tim, this checkout lady was just making fun of me. I'm just like, I hate my life. I would wear my hat like this.
That is awesome.
It was a couple months like that.
I think it really highlights what a mean bastard Tim is.
He's still to this day, like he can't get me with it anymore. But we still get some of our buddies to do stuff. We had who shaved their eyebrows? We had Schmitty shave his eyebrows. Like,
and he's too ugly. Like you at least got a little charm to you. Schmitty's just too ugly to do that.
Hey. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's because he's so tall you couldn't see his eyebrows or something, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe there's more stuff going on.
The angle was different.
But it was we still to this day we have people do some pretty fucked up stuff.
Well, and Riggs shaved a cul-de-sac in his head on that Bellator show.
Yeah. Tim said one of their bets was Tim shaved his pubes and glued them to Riggs' mustache.
What is wrong with your friend Tim?
I don't know. Tim probably
that's a whole nother podcast in itself.
Dude, those guys
dig into Tim's mental well-being.
Yeah, seriously. That Jehovah head is his.
That's so funny, man.
We have some good memories.
Well, you're talking about God, that picture of you without your eyebrows is just hysterical.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was $20 and I was going to give it to you, but 50, that's twice as much.
Yeah,
that's good.
It is.
2.5 times as much. You talk about loving to perform, and when I think back to your early career and the moments that kind of, I wouldn't say they made you, because your hard work made you in my estimation, but the moments that kind of jumped you and propelled you, you've always had a knack for great moments.
Yeah.
You know? And like even early you had some funny ones. Remember the kid like did a spinning kick, but wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then you just jumped up in a circle and the crowd cracked up.
Yeah.
Like you've always been, do you attribute to that, to you being a performer?
I remember that moment specifically. I don't remember thinking like I want to entertain. I don't know where that came from. Like it just kind of, he went to like throw a spinning body kick or something and it wasn't there. So he just ended up doing a full 360. And I don't know if I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was me thinking like I'm going to entertain the crowd or I'm going to, kind of fuck with him. Like, so I don't know what that came from. It very well could have just came from me wanting to perform in front of people. That was on my mind a lot of the time, was like, I remember thinking sometimes going into fights, like, I don't even really care if I lose as long as I do 3 or 4 things that I can watch back on my phone and be like, damn, that was sick. I remember like, that's how I thought. Like, well, if I lose, I want to at least do some sweet shit.
Well, that gives you a freedom.
It did,
as an artist, right? To be able to just let go and do your thing.
Yeah.
Because so many people, I mean, I was never an athlete like you, but I did jiu-jitsu for a long time and I was always scared to lose positions.
Yeah.
So it was like watching bread rise. It was not fun. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Yeah.
They want to see somebody let go and try some things.
Yeah.
Win or lose. So the first one of those I think about was the David Nuzzo in the LFA in Phoenix.
Snoozo.
By the way, another gift you have is saying some funny shit.
Sometimes, every once in a while.
I said, what'd you say? Nuzzo's going to get a snoozo?
I'm gonna say, David Nuzzo's going to take a snoozo, and he did indeed.
You know how you laugh and you go, try not to laugh in front of the guy?
Yeah.
You said that was hysterical. But tell me about that. How did that feel in the LFA?
Man, that felt so good. It was I don't remember. I remember Tim and I were hitting mitts, like doing that same kick where I'd throw a leg kick. You know where I learned it from? It was Connor. He spun the other way. He spun one way and then he spun the other way. Not nearly as smooth and like pretty as how mine ended up being. But I think I kind of I got that from him. And so I threw it a different way. I threw a leg kick. I threw a head kick into a spin kick. And so we were actually working on that a few weeks before the fight. And the opportunity just presented itself. I dropped him like 2 or 3 times previously. I was piecing him up. And it's funny. I remember the interview after I was like, yeah, I expected that. Like I said that as like in a serious way. And it sounds like it's a funny thing to say. Yeah, I expected something like that to happen. But I did. I really did. I was like, I knew what I was capable of doing. Something sweet like that. And I was on like a pretty cool knockout streak anyway.
Yeah.
So my confidence was just at an all-time high. And I remember, I think they turned down Hamill. They turned down Hamill because they didn't want to get wrestle fucked. And so they picked me. And I always thought, I'm like, instead. Man, I bet he would have rather got wrestle fucked and beat ground and pounded than that.
Well, I remember some people being shocked. I thought he was too slow for you, just I thought it was a bad matchup. So when they agreed to it, I was like, I think something cool could happen.
Yeah.
But that was super cool. And then you go to Kashakian.
Yep, Alfred.
Yeah. And that another moment.
Yeah.
Dude, you almost hit that right hand like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Like you hit him, but not solid.
That was an interesting fight camp because I remember I think 2 weeks before, Rob Emerson threw a knee, hit me boom right in the jaw. And I remember that was like a pretty bad concussion I had. I remember being at the apartment with Danny, having the lights off, laying in my bedroom. Like the last few weeks leading up to that fight were not good. It was scary and I remember I weighed in at 135 or 136. I walked in the cage at 138.
Holy cow.
138.8. And I was like, still confidence. Like I was not feeling my best, but I was like, I still had this confidence that I could go out there and win. And thank God I got him out of there in that first round because I was gassed.
Well, it was a fight though.
Yeah, it was.
You guys were wrestling around and up and down, and there was a lot of volume in that round.
And Snoop happened to be commentating he only did 1 season of that. Yeah. And it happened to be on my episode or my season. And then that knockout, that was luck. I was so lucky that he was doing that.
And I think, yes, but no. just events coincide.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you were there and he kind of identified with you.
Yep.
Look at this little skinny punk, and Snoop is all long and stringy.
Oh,
and
Mally.
Mally. And then Uriah Faber trying to get a sentence in, and Snoop just yelled, oh, Mally.
Yeah.
I walked down any alley with O'Malley, I think he said.
Yep.
Well, then when you had the fight with Sukumta,
Soccer Mom.
And you heard, which is another like Seanism. Oh, dude.
He hated that.
He was so
my last
sad.
name. I'm like, holy shit, it's a joke, buddy.
That's another one of those that I didn't expect you. And when you said it, I was like,
yeah.
Soccer Mom's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're the guy, if I'm Soccer Mom, I just got to go, man, you got me.
You got me.
That was sick. I would have made sure it said Soccer Mom.
Yeah, that would have been better.
You would have to do it because the harder you fight, the more you are the Soccer Mom.
He did a podcast like 3 years later that I randomly saw on YouTube. I'm like, I'm going to see what he's talking about. Brought it up.
Same shit.
And I'm just like still mad about it. I'm like, holy shit, brother.
Andre, you got to let it go,
Yeah.
baby. Let it go. But the interview you did with Joe Rogan, laying on your back.
Oh, God.
That is another one of those iconic moments. Not luck, because obviously you would rather not have broken your foot. But the fact that your foot was hurt and he crawled in there next to you to do the interview.
That was iconic.
And you said, I fucking love you, Joe Rogan.
Damn, that was sweet.
And then I forgot about the Kashakian fight. You're up on the cage and you're like real close.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Sugar Show. This is my show.
That stuck. That was good.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
And then you said the same thing laying on your back with Rogan.
Yeah.
And that led to you going on the Rogan show.
Yep.
Which is another
that is crazy.
Bump, you know?
A huge bump.
But anyway, you're there for those moments, which I think is so cool that you have an ability to stay in the moment and take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like people get lost in those things. And you don't seem to. What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I feel like I was just I don't have a good answer for that one. The Soccer Mom fight was crazy. Like breaking my foot, there's 3 minutes left, and like it was a major surgery. It was a Liz Frank surgery.
Yeah.
Like those are possible career enders to some people. And like it was a thank God he took me down. Like, and my dumb ass still tried to people are like, he's so stupid he took you down. I'm like, how stupid am I? I stood up once. Like I actually got back up and was still in my head, I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out on one foot, hopping around. And
I was worried that the ref was gonna stop it.
That would have sucked.
You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't have, because look how it ended up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But refs will do that. Like, he can't protect
sucked.
himself. I have to protect him. So those things, they happen for you. But I feel like I don't know about fate.
Yeah.
But
it's like, what do they say? It's when hard work meets opportunity or something like that.
They call it luck. Yeah.
I think that, I was always, my main focus, like I didn't have like a job. Like my focus was go to the gym, rest, go to the gym, like to improve for a long time. And I think it just, worked out.
Yeah. And then the other moment I was thinking about is the Aljamain fight, because I knew, everybody around here knew that your ribs were hurting you bad.
Yeah.
And that like you hadn't wrestled, hadn't been able
6
to spar,
weeks.
And you're just going in there. And I was like, fucking Aljamain is a moose.
I know. We were not excited for that fight.
And I remember the first round, you did a great job defending the wrestling. And I was worried every time he grabbed a body lock.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what's going to happen with those ribs. You probably felt the same way. And then that second round, that step back, pull two.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it in the room and I go, holy shit. He's the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Because it was just such an amazing moment.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was because Mario fought that Black Sheep or Blackshear.
Yeah, Damon Blackshear.
Yeah, on that same card. You guys were in the back of the locker room with us. That was crazy. I mean, my fight before that was with Peter Yan, so I kind of like, it was my first big fight. It was a very close fight, but it kind of proved like, okay, I'm legitimate. That was the first fight people were like, okay, he even if they thought I lost, like he went to the distance with Peter Yan.
It showed you belonged at that level. Like you fought him evenly. Yeah. Whatever people think, it's their opinion. But man, you stayed in that fight. I remember how impressed I was. I think I even wrote you that, man, you showed a lot of balls in that fight.
Yeah, that was a sick fight. But the Alger one, I was like, God, it was not ideal. Hurting my ribs 6 weeks before the fight. Like literally ran and hit mitts for the last 6 weeks. But in my mind, it was life or death. If he gets a hold of me, I'm gonna lose. Like he's gonna he's gonna beat me. So I think part of that was good for me. Like part of it was like it was like a fight or flight, and I was able to not get taken down and land the shot that I needed to land. And holy shit, that was crazy in Boston. Like that was the most insane energy arena feel that I've ever had, was when I hit that right, boom, when he face planted it, and then that was crazy.
Well, they had sent us back to the room, like they do now, and our room erupted. Yeah, and I just didn't say anything. I just shook my head. I go, "That is the most amazing thing."
That was
to crazy. Rise into that moment, and that led to one of my other favorite Sean O'Malley lines. You were in the post-fight conference. We talked about this the other day, and some guy goes, "Man, the judges had Aljamain up in the first round. How do you feel about that?" And you said,
"How'd they score round 2?"
Oh,
that was my favorite. That's my all-time favorite thing I've ever did. I was like, "Well, how'd they score round 2?"
Oh, the way you said it, and the way you're just looking at him like curious. I literally fell off my chair.
That was a good one.
The other lines, I giggled like, okay, that was funny. That one, you killed me.
Yeah,
that is the all-time greatest line.
How
did you score round 2?
Hey, I mean, round 1 don't matter if they don't come out to round 2.
Oh my God, so good. So all of that, like I just touched on it, but the confidence you have.
Yeah.
Like even in the Aljamain fight, like you're talking about thinking, dude, if he touches me, this fight's over.
Yeah.
Which was what my worry was when he body locked you. I was like, oh, I hope that's not on the wrong spot. And where does that come from? Just your calm in there? Like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
You have Joe Riggs said it long ago. He called me after you won, I think, an amateur fight in Montana. Maybe it was one of your pro fights. But he said, this kid's special. Like he's different in front of a crowd. He has a presence that people don't have. And you do.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it everybody's noticed it so many times. You're just at home there. Where does the confidence come from?
I truly think it was like, I got it in my mind early on, 16, 17 years old, knocking people out, and then just kind of, like, I know I've been putting in the work. I haven't been slacking. I've been putting in the work, and then part of it also is the freedom of, I got a lot of hate from the first Cheeto fight where I said I didn't lose. I didn't feel like I lost, and everyone's like, oh, you're a bad loser, you're a bad loser. But I do think part of my being able to let loose and let flow is that I'm not necessarily scared to lose. I'm not scared of, coming home and facing the people, or I'm not afraid of that. Like I understand, I've been competing my entire life in different sports. Like losing is a part of it. So I feel like going into these fights, I'm like, okay, well, there's a possibility I lose, and that's part of the game, and I'm not necessarily scared to lose. So I feel like being able to accept that helps me be able to flow and move around and have that confidence, just go out there and do that. But yeah, I would just say from, I had a lot of amateur fights. I had a lot of experience. I had, with kickboxing, I had like 20 amateur fights. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I've been in that moment a lot. I've made the walkout, 35, 40 times. Like I've made it a lot. So I think it's just, I was super comfortable. And yeah, the Aljo one just, it just felt like it was I was supposed to win. It was a weird, like in Boston, like, it was weird too. When they offered me the fight August 15th, or I think it was August 15th, I hadn't fought in August since the Cheeto fight where he kicked my nerve, my foot goes numb, and I was like, man, I never want to fight. I remember thinking I never want to fight in August. It's a bad luck. And they called me and hey, August 19th, Boston, you versus Aljo. I was like, in August. For sure, August? And they're like, yeah, that's the date. I'm like, all right, for sure, I'll be there. But yeah, so now August is a good month again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The obstacle is the way.
Exactly. Yes, sir. I mean? Yep.
Like facing that, people like where I don't have it. I used to be bad in football. If I had the wrong pair of socks.
Yeah.
The pants were, oh, fuck, I can't play with this. And nowadays, if I feel that, I do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wore these shoes last time we lost. I fucking throw those bad boys on right now.
Let's go.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
But it's there. You know what I mean?
It's so much of fighting is more mental than people think.
Yeah.
Like it is such a skill. Like you have to have the skills, but you have to have the mental too. It's like especially become a champion and stay a champion, you got to have both.
Yeah.
Then there's Merab, who I think is full blown retarded. No, I'm joking. But he's definitely
definitely on a different track.
I like Merab. I do. He's a goofball.
He is a goofball.
He is.
But the confidence, I saw that you had, and I knew that you had watched Connor a bunch.
Yeah.
Did you use him as a role model at all?
100%. Like the way he carried himself into fights, the confidence, his confidence to say what he thought was gonna. I'm gonna knock this dude out round 2. I'm gonna do it. Like I got a lot out of that, and I was like, okay, I can be confident like that, and I feel like I got lost almost in a sense where I wanted to be like Connor too much instead of being like myself.
When do you think that was?
I feel like I would say like the first Merab fight, I almost like, it was my second title defense, and I was like, I want this to be big. I didn't feel like it was big. I didn't feel like Merab was a big name. I felt like I had to force it. It was at the Sphere. Like I felt like I had to like create something, and I didn't like how that made me feel. In a sense, I'm like, because I didn't hate Merab. I would have loved to knock him out. I would love anybody if I want to knock out without it being personal.
Yeah.
But I felt like I made that one too personal, and I didn't like that. But that was kind of the only time I feel like I really forced anything. The Cheeto beef I felt was real. Like I didn't like that. Like that was a real one. But the Merab one I kind of felt like I forced a little bit.
You it's funny because I think it's a balance, right? Like how you approach things, you go, whatever it is. I didn't run enough for this fight, so I'm going to run more this next fight.
Yeah.
And you get through the camp and you're like, that was too much running. So, you know what I mean? Like, is that the same thing with your mental approach?
Yeah, just trying to find the balance of it. Like, okay, being yourself, but also I do think there's an entertainment aspect that the UFC people need to kind of do to become a superstar. To be like, you got to be yourself, and then you could add on to that a little bit. And finding that balance. There's not someone there to teach you. There's not a book. There's not like.
Well, and you're an individual.
Yeah.
So even if you like Connor, you like whoever, you like Merab, you can follow it, but you can only follow that so far before you have to go on your own path.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you've definitely done that. You're talking about camps and stuff. I listened to you talking about the Kashakian fight, and how you went in with a concussion. The Aljo fight, you're going with ribs.
Yep.
I mean, in this sport, you rarely go into a fight 100%, right?
I mean, the first Merab fight, I walked in there with torn labrum. Like I had surgery scheduled a couple days after the fight. Like I knew I had to go get it fixed, and that wasn't ideal. The last Merab fight, I never even said anything. It's been far enough now. I don't feel like it's like, oh, he's making excuses. I was in a boot from 6 weeks. I kicked Anthony's elbow, and the guy said I broke a bone inside my left toe, and I partially tore the ligaments on the sides of it. So I was in a boot for the last 6 weeks. I hadn't trained without a wrestling shoe on and tape until I walked into the cage for 6 weeks. But it's like, I just fought Merab, and I was complaining about my hip, saying I had surgery. So now we're like 7 weeks out from the fight, so I feel like it's fine to say. But yeah, it's not ideal. You walk every fight for the most part. I mean, like the only time I felt decently healthy was that second Cheeto fight, which was great. But yeah.
The hardest knee I ever saw somebody not fall down to, by the way.
Yeah, that was insane.
That sound still lives in my brain.
Oh.
Like a batter hitting a ball out of the park.
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah, I mean, the injuries are part of the game, and it's like everyone, like 95% of people walking in the Octagon that night or whatever Saturday night is going to be dealing with something.
How do you feel like, you obviously have, how have you developed your recovery and diet and your health, your lifestyle to help with that?
I feel like that is something that is missing out of most people. I have a sauna at my house, cold plunge at my house, red light, a PEMF machine. My diet is very clean. Like in fight camp, I'm eating pretty much perfect. I get my blood done about 3 or 4 times a year from this nutritionist. He changes up my diet on what foods is causing me inflammation. Like last camp, I didn't eat eggs, and I've been eating eggs my entire career. But he said there was a inflammatory response to eggs, so we weren't eating eggs. We were like switching up my diet constantly each fight camp, and so diet wise, like in fight camp is damn near perfect. Out of fight camp, I'm probably like 90%. Like I still don't eat bad, just because if I do, I really feel it in my joints. But
you can really tell the difference.
I feel like pretty pretty easily can feel like if I eat something I shouldn't, like I can feel it in my body.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's in my head or if I really do, but I've always had like a sensitive stomach, like a sensitive gut, to where like if I eat something, I really feel it in my gut. But like if you have any kind of inflammation from training, then you go and eat, you know, some processed food or some shit like that, it's just going to go to that and where the inflammation is. So I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, recovery and diet, I feel like something over the last like 6-7 years I've really taken very, very serious.
Yeah. And that kind of leads to the, you know, before the last fight, you changed some things in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that stuff? You know, obviously the result wasn't what you wanted, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's the process we're going through. Obviously we want to win every fight. And those are big fights with you. Those are mega fights.
Yeah.
How do you feel that has affected you, and is it helping you think?
Yeah, so I decided it was on Christmas Eve. I took some mushrooms and yeah, I sat outside, and I have like a bunch of trees about my house. And I sat on by these in my pine tree. I have a bunch of pine trees. Sat out there, watched the sunset, saw an owl, like just kind of was getting spiritual. And like I kind of wanted, I knew social media, just looking at my phone, surfing, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or, you know, I didn't like the way it made me feel in general. It just gave me this like a little anxiety buzz. I feel like most people can kind of, they know what I'm talking about when I say that. And I've wanted to be like, God, if I just get rid of it, I feel better. And something in my head like switched, like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna do it. And from that day moving forward, like I hired someone to do all that stuff for me. So I don't have Instagram on my phone, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, any of that stuff. I don't have it on my phone. I have someone help me run it. That's been a huge change. Yeah.
More time for people, for your family.
I feel like my relationships are a lot better. I feel like I detox. Like it's July now. It's been, you know, 6 months, 7 months. I feel like I've actually kind of detoxed from it. And I do feel the benefits of being almost like sober from social media. Like I feel really good. I feel like my conversations are more engaging. I feel like I'm more present with the people around me. I feel I don't have that. I don't really feel like I have any anxiety. Like there's sometimes like random days where you have a little bit of anxiety. I've never really dealt with like bad anxiety, but I don't feel that little anxious buzz. And I attribute that to being off social media.
Oh,
for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
So more than you think, it's like the attentiveness the time you spend is obviously the first remedy, right? Like that's the first benefit you get is like, hey, I have more time. But because of that, you think it's made you less anxious because you're more present in the moment?
I think yes, and I think it's because I every time I get on social media, you know, you see I have 4 million followers or whatever, and like get bombarded with likes and comments, and you're reading comments, whether they're good, bad. And I just got too attached to the idea of Suga. The
value of it, yeah.
I was like, I'm Suga, that's Suga. Like I'm just Sean O'Malley. Like I'm still just like a goofball, and I just don't want to be the character that I think I am reading comments, and like I'd rather just be myself, who I feel like I am before I was famous. If I can still be that guy, like I feel like I'm more happy, and I feel like that's kind of where I got back to, rather than I don't think I ever let like the ego get to me in a bad way. I was never mean to people or disrespectful to people. Like I always still felt like I was myself, but in my head I like had this attachment of Suga was, you know, bigger than I needed to be, or I almost tried to be someone I wasn't. So I feel like getting rid of that social got rid of that ego, and I think that's what makes me feel so much better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, there's a real power to that.
Yeah.
You almost like you reclaimed yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I mean, it sounds a bit profound, but it might be that.
That's
profound.
That's what it feels. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you got going forward?
Nothing scheduled right now. Just kind of getting the body healthy. My toes actually starting to feel quite a bit better lately. So it's, just kind of getting back in the gym, getting back in the swing of things. The fight was like 7 weeks ago. So, you know, part of me is like, man, I just want to fucking get back in there. I just want to get back to work. But it's like my body, you know, it was a long fight camp, 12 weeks, and the fight obviously wasn't too traumatic, but it was like your body goes through some stuff. So I feel good mentally. I'm ready to. I want to fight by the end of the year. I want to get one more in this year. So just kind of going with the flow. Doesn't really. I'm trying not to force anything. Like if I get one in, great. If I don't. I think Corey and Marab will probably fight, somewhat soon. Marab said he wanted to fight, a few more times this year, which I totally believe, that little fucking crazy bastard.
Probably is going to fight every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to dive in. You see him dive into that river? Like, every.
That's what makes me so mad I lost to him. I'm like, I can't lose to someone who dives into ice. But he's that good.
Didn't you say something about that? Like, ice is what happens when water gets.
I'm like, hey, when that water freezes, it turns into ice. You can't jump into it.
It's harder then.
But.
Well, what do you think about? Do you ever think about life after fighting?
Yeah, for sure. Right now, I loved, and I have loved since the beginning. Since I was 16, 17, I was selling merch, Suga merch, like entrepreneurial kind of mindset, selling merch, getting sponsors. Like, right now, I've kind of. I'm investing. I have equity in multiple businesses, and I enjoy the phone calls. I enjoy the process of building. Emron and I are releasing our own product very, very, very soon. It's called Doing Well, and it's going to be he doesn't want me to say what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be. We're doing our own business, starting it from the ground up, and I'm excited about that. So I'll continue to do that, but I think giving back to the people in a sense of what I have learned over the years. I don't feel like I'm a good coach right now. I do definitely help. Like if I see someone doing something, their right hand's down, they throw a left hook. Like I help in that sense. But I think once it's all said and done, I'm gonna, be more of a coach and more of a give back in that aspect. And I've been absolutely obsessed with poker lately.
I've seen some.
Yeah,
of it.
So I would love to, play in big tournaments and actually. I feel like I am. I've started playing this year, and I feel like the last 6 months I've gotten really good compared to where I was started. So I feel like I have a knack for poker.
Plus that'll kindle that competitive spirit.
It will. Oh, it does. And those sting. I played in a tournament this weekend. They paid top 6. And I placed 7th, so they call it on the I bubbled. So 6th place gets money, 7th place doesn't. And it's not a lot of money. It's not even about the money for me. It is the I would like to make my buyback or whatever, but it's like just winning I'm definitely will be competitive forever. And then Tim and I are starting pickleball courts, and we really enjoy pickleball. Like it's a fun game, very competitive. So that's I'm excited about that next chapter. I want to take advantage. I'm 30 right now. So for the next 5 years, really take advantage of being, 30, 31, those ages while I'm able to compete. I want to get in some wars, have wars.
Still looking forward to fighting.
I am so excited to get back in the Octagon and it'll be nice to fight a striker. The last 2 fight camps were against Marab, and it's like that motherfucker he finds a way. To get you down, and the first time I fought him, he was pretty strong, but the second time I fought him, I don't know if it's like the confidence he got from beating me and then beating Umar. It's like he felt weirdly strong, and so just getting back in the gym and getting better and improving, and I'm still hungry to fight.
I love to hear that. Yeah. Well, when I think back to this, I remember the kid who had his dogs and my kids in the pool.
Yeah.
Babysat Barbarina kids, you babysat my kids. I mean, you helped raise half the lab families around here. And I always think back to you, when people talk about the Sugar Show for me is a kid that loves people and loves to help. Like my kids still go to school and they can't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That there's pictures of you, doing your thing.
I was telling Garrett on the way here, I was like, it's funny. Like I was 19 years old and you guys trusted me, rightfully so, because you guys saw how I acted with, the kids and was around, and my mom owned a daycare growing up, and I was constantly helping. So I was very comfortable helping and being in a babysitter role model.
Yeah.
But you guys trusted me to whip the van to go pick up the kids and hang out, take them to the park, and
so awesome.
And I remember you guys would pay me, and I didn't have a job at the time, so I was always so grateful to be able to do that on the weekends and help, and that helped me a lot for sure.
It's just crazy to think back, the kid with no eyebrows and, babysitting your kids and your dog Kush jumping in the pool with the babies and seeing you on the stage and seeing you walk in there like this is where you've always meant to be.
Yeah.
And those two exist comfortably.
It is crazy.
In the same person is pretty amazing.
It is wild.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's
fun. You're the man, Sugi.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this one, guys. Thank you. We'll see you next time.